the first thing I taught was when people are seated, right, when they're not in supine, when they're not on their back, you don't want to come in and try to like Toreando people, right? Because this isn't Toreando, this is X-Pass, right? You're stepping in, you're kicking, and you're getting to there, or you're throwing by and you're stepping in there. So you don't Toreando people, even in no-gi, you don't do it when they're seated like this. So the first thing I showed was you can either do this to knock people on their back, you can push on the shoulder to knock people on the back, and then the one that I actually prefer is you drag right at the feet. That's my favorite one. It's what I always do when I really want to do it. So the first thing we did was drag people by the feet, and then once you pulled, their lower backs came down, and then you were here. And I taught it in gi, so we did doubling up on the material on the insides, or on the side that we were going to end up passing to. So in gi, I taught that. In no-gi, the goal is just to collapse this leg to the ground, and then bring your hand to their hip, and your hand on this. So the whole goal is, I'll do this first. The finishing spot is this for the no-gi Toreando. For gi, it's the same thing, but you've got that arm locked up. Yeah, exactly. So the finish is that. So I need this hip on the ground, pinned, and now I'm trying to get to this position, and now I'm driving in, and I'm trying to connect my hip there before you can do anything. But the whole point though is, when I'm here, the only way this leg can come and get between us is if this one isn't touching the ground on that side, or this knee. So the goal is to start the guard pass with the knee here, and now you Toreando to this side, and you just kick it. So, I was showing people that. I was like, okay, retain guard with your leg on the ground, and I was like, you can't unless you're like you see any of the crazy flexible people out there. So, and you can always get around a single hook while that leg is still pinned. Yeah. So the first step is getting to the position where they're down, and whichever side you're passing to, the other your other knee is pinned to the ground. So when I'm here, and now this has to be totally pinned, and you're gonna Toreando this way, and the goal isn't to get chest to chest with me. The goal is to touch either one of your hips right here and keep this pressure here. So now that takes that out of the equation. If you focused on going chest to chest with me instead of the hip, what happens is people go on their feet and then their chest touches, and then this happens.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean? So the goal isn't chest to chest.
Yeah.
The end goal is. The first goal is hips. You're beating the legs and the hips. So you're here, boom, we're pinning. Yeah, it's hips, not chest. And then once they give up on that knee coming in, then you can go chest to chest, or you can spin around on the far side. Yeah. So it's a hard thing to get used to doing because everyone wants chest to chest because they want side control.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the first goal should be hip. Yeah, it's hip connection. Whenever you're watching the greats like Padre and all their hips are driving it. So even if I have this, you want to connect your hips as hard as you can right there.
Yeah, like on you?
Nope. Your weight should all be going here. The second I'm able to bring this back up and off the mat, the second I bring this up and off the mat, I'm screwed. So obviously, in gi, very easy. You're just making a fist, pushing it down. In no-gi, once I have it here, I always go like that.
Oh, you want that?
Yeah, because now I can't use it. And once enough weight is there, yes. And now, instead of trying to swim that out, now you just collect the other knee down to the ground too. Like the other, and then you're, you see what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, you turn it into more of a leg drag instead of just a Toreando.
Okay.
So of course, Toreando by itself, not the best pass. Toreando with X, over, under, with all those other things, fantastic pass.
Right, absolutely.
So, so Toreando, first goal is hitting a knee to the ground. Every time I got passed by black belts over in Tennessee, and every time I got passed by black belts over in Tennessee, it's not that they would just move my legs and go to the side. I would re-guard all of them. No one would pass me guard. It's when they would get one of my legs on the ground. Yeah. So every single time they were here, and then it's just, now my hips are in, and now I can just crush up. There's literally no options. Once I've rotated your spine, you now can't defend your spine that direction. So your whole goal, especially if I'm down like this, because this is how guard players sit, and they do this so that their knees don't touch the ground. I mean, they think they do this because of this. They really do it because guard protection is possible once this happens. Yeah. Yeah, and even if I get this, now you just drive it with your hips. Yeah, you're just trying to flatten, and then you make sure I can't get this up, and then you just keep getting this knee closer to the ground. Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you just step around side control and out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so simple once you start feeling it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people are so weak when they're turned away and they're trying to bridge like back into
Never
it.
thought about that.
Neither had I until I started researching how everyone knee cuts.
And that's Hodger?
Watching Hodger pass, he does that. Listening to Andrew Wiltsey when he shows his knee cut, that's how he starts his knee cut, which is one of his best passes. And I don't know if he knows it or not, that's how Toreando is also. Because what he'll do is he'll step in with their leg pressed down like this, and then he'll feel like they're making too much of a connection, and he'll blow out, and then he'll run around and use his athleticism. And if you can keep that leg pin, he'll drop chest to chest. Yeah, man. So if the goal of the Toreando is to get here so that you can't re-guard your legs open anymore that way. So when you knee cut, it's the same thing. It's just once I do this, instead of just blowing to the outside and driving with my hips, now you're stepping in. And then, of course, if you try to grab De La Riva, which a lot of people will, you're handing the underarm. I just have to place this on the mat and then place over here. And I've knee cut past, and now you're just driving backwards to finish the pass. So if they grab De La Riva and I have this pin, like you hand me the underhook every time. I just place my hand on the ground and then I just blow to the side. And then I'm just driving my hips down and back, and I pass your guard. If you don't, then that's when I'm just placing my hand here, and now I'm just blowing sideways, and now I'm searching for it, and now I'm blowing through. But either way, if I step into you cross-side, you'll grab reverse De La Riva. Or if you step into me cross-side with cross leg, so this leg.
Straight cross.
Yeah, so this is a cross leg. Now I'm here. Now knee cutting is a problem because now this leg can come over. Even if you blow through this way and you pass, this leg's free to be stupid and re-guard. So when the leg you decide you want to knee cut this side, you want that leg pinned initially. And now if I grab here, then you're free to win this underhook. And then you see what I mean? You're just blowing right through. Like it's explosive and it's one motion. And it's not even like you have to apply a lot of pressure. You can just blow up here toward my shoulders. And then if I don't grab De La Riva, then you're just placing and then you're still doing the exact same thing. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, there's always a little bit of a scramble, but knowing that they have to scramble literally like this or inverting, there's only two options.
Right. You
can start getting other passes based on it. But if your initial goal is to pin that, and I don't let you step in, you're on Toreando.
Can I put my hand on the shoulder? Or do I have to come here?
I don't like shoulder because every time people go shoulder or knee,
Armpit, I guess.
yeah, either or shoulder or armpit, this person ends up just posting and making it so that you can't get through. But when you're pushing all your weight right here, people are worried about this stuff, and now you can just blow through the knee cut. And then you're just blowing through before I can bring that knee up and over, that foot up and over for guard retention. If you watch Mike Musumisi's guard retention stuff, or if you just watch him fight, he doesn't even necessarily drag his knee in. He just brings this leg up and around. So as long as this is pinned, they can't do that for guard retention. You can just blow through. Yeah. Now I don't have lasso, but you're not passing my guard anymore. Like you're not going to knee cut with that grip. Yeah, you're not going to knee cut. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and once you're there, you're in. It's like you're rubber banding my hip flexors by going from here. You're bing, and I don't have time. Your body weight's going to blow forward before my leg can blow up to guard retention.
It's almost effortless.
It is effortless. Yeah, very.
No energy.
Yeah. So what it'll realistically look like once you pin, right? The second you knee cut, I'm gonna try to guard retention and scramble, right? So here, I can push and re-guard. So when you blow through, right? So blow through, now their guard retention is scrambling, and now it's an actual scramble hit. So you never end up knee cutting chest to chest and no knee. Like it doesn't really happen like that.
Okay.
It's a knee cut and then there's like a second of scramble to get to chest to
Oh, I
chest.
should be. I didn't do this once. I should be here. Back.
Yeah, that's right. Because my goal is going to be to get on my side and bring that knee back up for guard retention. So the second you blow through, you feel my knee on your butt coming up. Yeah. So when you step in and you have that pin and you blow through like that, you're going to feel. Yeah. See what I mean? Yeah. That's the pressure. So that's why that hip is the most important thing in Toreando. It's the most important thing in Nico too. It's that hip every single time.
Toreando.
Same exact setup. You're just not stepping. You don't need to step in. Yeah. You get that foot to the ground, and now you're just driving, and it's the hip connection to my hip. So as long as I can move this leg, because your pressure's not on it, or it's not on this leg, as long as I can move this one up, I'm in guard retention.
Yeah.
So in no-gi, it's a little different, right? But it's when I'm here, the intention is that it's driving this hip up like that. That's the intention. So it's either my right or left hip driving here, and then based on whatever you do with this leg, now I'm changing my passing. So if your leg is like straight up in the air like this, and I'm doing that, and I still have this thing like this, then you can step in and go to knee cut that way, right? Or you can Gordon Ryan pass by levitating, all that stuff. All of it's gonna come off good in that.
Does it matter if I frame it on?
So if I sit here, yes. When I do this, right, and you can go ahead and like, keep that foot out. Once I do this, right, all my weight, as long as I have that pin, you see, like I'm slowly just crushing your legs together and up, and I'm just passing.
Yeah.
But it's all from that hip pressure, while the other one's pinned. Because now you can't guard retention. Yeah. And it's the hip pressure into that. Yeah, see how I can't let this? If you're like a little bit higher on me, my knee can move and I can, you see what I mean? Like I'm explosive, my legs are free the second you come off my legs. So initially your pressure is, it's here and the hip is there. Yeah. And if I do this, now all your weight's here. Yeah, you see what I mean? Like, and you've turned my spine, and now you've won that battle. Yeah. It's almost counterintuitive or counterproductive, because the goal is to go chest to chest.
Yeah.
But when you jump to it, there's a scramble. So it's, when you beat the legs, now you're on the hips. You're not on the chest to chest. It's like, you beat the feet with like spider and all that to get in here. Mm-hmm. And once you're in here, you're pinning. And now once you're pinning, now you're on the hips. You're not on the chest to chest. Because that's how big scrambles happen.
Yeah, I do.
So it's, yeah, and most people do that. I still do it sometimes too when I'm getting too excited. But that's when you're passing the legs to get to side control. The goal is from like the feet. Once you beat the feet, you're at the knees. So you're trying to pin one of them. And once you pin one, now you're onto the hips, not chest to chest. If you think you can't get to the hips, this is where you stay standing and you go to the fake knee on belly. And then you're not going to go to side control, you're going to go to north south.
Right.
Right? And I was showing that last time too.
Or normally on the
Either or, so I'm here, you've got some crazy like Jiu Jitsu hook here, I can't drive my hips to touch your hips, so once I get here, I'm gonna stay and just crush down, right? So once I can touch my hip there, I win. But let's say rolls reverse and I'm not letting you crush that, right? So you're here, you're driving your hips down, yeah, it's not happening, whatever it is. So instead, you go here and knowing that you're not gonna be able to get from here to here with your hips, you just step in. Now, I'm not going for knee on belly. I just want you to shrimp or invert. That's it. The second you shrimp, right? So what will happen is for now, I'm leaning in a fake knee on belly. So I don't even know how to explain it. So I'm up on this foot and I'm kneeling on this knee, right? When you push, they swap. So I go from this to this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So what I don't want to happen is to have my foot based out wide, and then I'm leaning my pressure onto you, and when you bridge, I go like that. That's what I don't want to happen, because then you'll regard every time. So what I do is, I know people say, we don't leave your leg closed. Well, that's because if they have a grip on other part of my body and you underhook, now I'm gone. But for here, I'm not reaching and doing anything. I'm just waiting, knowing that they're not going to feel threatened by this, other than the fact that I might pass their guard. So they bridge, and the second they do, I swap. Now I'm in north-south of the back, and now we're collapsing because now we're past the hips. So it's a hard thing to get down, but it's just you go from here, and then as they push, you let them push, and you just rotate your hips open the other direction. And then the second afterwards, you go boom, and that leg's already in the air. You're backstepping. So. What it looks like quickly, and I'll show it from both sides. So I'm on this foot close to the body, and I'm sitting on my heel. And the second you push, I'm opening my hips and backstepping. And you either land in far side control or mount, right? Yeah. So from this side, I'm doing the exact opposite. So I'm sitting on this heel, and I'm planting on this foot. The second you push, I switch. You see what I mean? Yeah. I'm switching and backstepping once, and then I'm landing in north-south, landing in my Kimura, or landing in far side control, based on how big we backstep. Yeah. But it's just getting this motion down.
Every case of link, that's pretty much what that is.
Yeah. Usually I end up going to the Kimura from there, but yeah, usually it's I'm here, they push, I pull, and I'm around.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I let them do this, so I pull on them and spin all the way to the far side. All right, so if you use the first part, so we're here, maybe I have this, and you just feel like there's no fucking way you're driving your hips into that leg. Yeah, so you step around, and you just get to the light knee on belly, and you're trying to sit on your heel, and then you're up on that foot, right? When I push this will go to your heel, and this one will be on the foot. And then you back step. Yeah, see that? Okay. Yeah. And when I push, your goal is to pull on this arm, on that tricep, right? So I'm here, so I bridge and I push, you switch, yeah, see that? And now I'm trying to run up, and you've got that north-south, Dars, Kimura, far side control. Yeah. Okay. Every time. Because what you don't want to do is try to come to knee on belly and actually apply weight here, especially in no-gi, where people will just bridge you over to the far side, or you're actually applying weight, and then I bridge, and then there's that moment of off balancing, and now I'm here, and now I've won. Yeah. So to avoid that, you're light on the knee, and this foot's close, because you're about to switch which one's down. And I go like this, and the second I do that, that switches, and then you're backstepping, you're pulling on this arm, you're looking for Darces, you're looking for, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. It's really strange, but when you watch the higher level guys get to light knee on belly, as we'll call it, they're all running to north-south, grabbing chokes, grabbing the far side Kimura, backstepping around. That's why a lot of times people do the drills where they're going from one side control to the other. Yeah, that's when you do it. It's when people are bridging and pushing off of you. You don't want to just crush chest to chest. You're going around. Yeah, you're letting them push that direction. You pull them, and then you're around their backside. Maybe they stay here, and now you're on their back. Or you take the Kimura. You can just pull their arm up and grab your leg for the crucifix, or just lay north-south if you're not good at backstepping, you're not quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other pass is the one we slap, like sideline.
Are you just talking about the throw by, or are you just doing this? Yeah. So if you can't pin this knee to the ground, right? I think it's actually more specific to. If someone's sitting like that, I'll go to pin someone's leg to the ground. So when you're sitting with kind of neutral feet, I'll pin or I'll just step right in the middle. It's when people do this to stop me from getting inside leg position, I slap this leg. Okay. Because what you're doing for me is pinning this knee to the ground. So I go here. I touch the leg to keep this leg still, because if this one's flat, you can't move this one. Yeah, if I let it be and I start to come here and you start rotating your hip, now I don't have the throw by. So whichever foot they have close to their butt, I pin and I'm slapping and getting to this light knee on belly, and now I'm in my position to do it, and I pull when they push, and now I'm past their guard.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's only when they got one side.
Yeah, so when I'm doing this, very easy to pin one or just step inside. Yeah, you see what I mean? Very, like I'm handing you like a lever with my hips if they sit like this. So nobody, yeah, and you can just step right in and start crushing like forward. So, yeah, exactly. There's so many options to get inside leg. So people sit like this, and now you just push there and you're slapping, and now, yeah, I'm in this weird like, if I try to sit and wrestle, now I'm in this spot. If you do it again, here, and so this one has to be on the ground, because if it's not, then yeah. So now that's the range of motion for me. So when this one's pinned, that's as far over as I can be. All you gotta do is focus on always getting that far around. So when I'm here and that one's pinned, yeah, see what I mean? Yeah, it's like it's a delayed reaction from my knees. And now I'm trying to turn, and this is why you go knee on belly and you don't go chest to chest.
Reverse?
If you go reverse, you're gonna backstep to mount or enter legs. You're gonna enter legs is a better option. Yeah. So regular, when you come regular knee on belly, now we're back to this one again.
Yeah.
Where we're doing this, you're pulling, and yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to wrestle up, and I got me in turtle, which is so much better. Yeah.
Okay.
You see how it all kind of feeds into each other a little bit?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's based on how their feet are placed when you're trying to get someone that's seated, and when they're on their back, you can just lean and drop on their knees to the ground.
How, if I was in heat,
Yeah.
and you get like Jordan, who plays like this, how would you do it without getting caught fighting?
So this comes from, so you know how we were at that gym, and I heel hooked that dumbbell because I had this grip. I didn't know what to do, man, and I just sat and collected both of his legs, and then I just went lean and heel hook. So this grip is a death grip for leg locks. It's also a death grip when people play like Jordan like this.
Yeah.
Right? How do you stop that knee on belly? Just try to do one of the reactions like slowly, and now you've got falling into my trap.
Yeah.
So when I fight Jordan, I'm either going to pressure pass him by pulling this into an over-under pass, right? But I'm big, so it always works for me. So when I'm trying to skillfully pass, I'm here, and now I'm just trying to get either reverse to enter leg locks, or same side, and then I just let his leg come down. Let's walk through what we did today kind of slowly. Just start doing them real slow, and I'll pick details kind of. Yeah. 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 I hop so far, and I drive my knee. Yeah, I drive my knee into the back of their knee, and I drag it until it's right here. You want that there, yeah. And then when you see this, then immediately you start crushing the head, because then you know they're going to invert. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you're on the crush. If not, now you're here. Your windshield wiper gets it back, and you're just yes. Okay. Yeah. So usually that little hop is I get here, I feel this, and then the way I do this, I'm like this. Like I knee foot almost. All my pressure is sitting, and for you to invert, that has to happen. So when I'm like this, if I have this down, go to invert. You see how I get right? Because I'm on that knee, also on the back. From here, and now I can crush that, and that's how I can get the amount on me. I'm crushing one side, go here, and I feel like I'm gonna get this little butterfly. But right there, I'm swing, and I'm crushing both. Like I'm pushing here, but I'm leaning this way, trying to get that and that. And so it's a, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we're here, you get one down, and I hook, just drive the hips in, and I'll swing that, and then before I can go here, get your weight onto that leg also, like lean your hips onto my other leg. Oh yeah, there it is. You feel it? Yeah. Yeah, it's on that. Yeah, you're leaning, and now you're windshield wiper, and now you're past. Yeah, now you're on my back. Yeah. Yeah, and then if you know the approach, you got me on belly. If not, you're here, you're there, you back step. Yes. Exactly. Try to actually pull on my arm and make me like slide over when I go here, pull from the, yeah, see that? How you use that as momentum to like whip yourself around? Because momentarily you're stopping me from getting my knees to roll up on top and fighting. Okay. Yeah, if I do this, yeah, the pressure there is the main. I know my foot's not right here, but
I would just
yeah, you just stay. Yeah, but the main thing is know that this is my game right here. He's getting this up. So when you yes there. Now you I'm in like everything, and then you can you crawl up, and then you windshield wipe that foot again, and then you're like the no.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, so it's anytime my hips are here and my knee, it's not the foot. The foot passes, you don't really have a leg drag. When the knee passes the center line, leg drags on, yeah. Yeah, so we're here, you know, except the knees pass, and then all your weight needs to come up and in. Yeah, now it's too late, and now I'm doing this stuff, this is what everyone's gonna do, and now you're just windshield wiping and crushing with my back. Yeah, you ignore the arms go right around. Yeah, so when I go here, you go here, and you just push. Yeah, so I do like a back step, and then my other leg comes.
Yeah.
And then I do it. So it's not a single back step. When I land, it's like I back, and then the other one comes and I slide. Yeah, so I'm here. Yeah, it's that second step, and because of that pull I had, I just get to sit on your legs before your hips.
We talked about Toreando here. Now I was like, what happens if?
Oh, I started?
Yeah.
So, or the way that I've been teaching it is, I want to lean on the ground to start Toreando, right? So then you start slider, go here, Toreando.
Okay.
And now it's a hip to jump back. Either over or jump it all the way. So you got slider, you're going to cross knee and in, and now I need a leg drag because this is already giving me, or this is already pinned. I can let you keep this spider hook, right? And now activate this.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all spider hook players are doing this stuff. Yeah, yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah. It's so simple. I've never taught it before either, but I do it all the time.
Easy to learn that.
Yeah. I don't even know what to call it, a whip up. I've never seen a technique named.
I've never seen it so nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, so it's a cross grip on the pant leg, and the same side grip on the wrist, and then you step back squat.
Guys are big guys.
Yeah.
Took no energy.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
very simple. Also, if I'm standing and you're playing seated guard, and you're leading with one in your hands, doesn't matter which one, I can hand you a shallow hand and just grab the leg, and it happens. So I can't extend because now you're going to grab and slide yourself under.
Right.
But when I'm here, I can play low, and as they overextend, you can just grab it and then you keep it like a re-whip. Whip it.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know.
But I mean, like if we're sparring, what are you leaning in for first when I'm leaning down like this?
Personally, I wouldn't wait.
Yeah, yes. But a lot of people
Well, I can
overextend.
see them trying with their power.
A lot of people do it, yeah.
And
And you can
feel
just,
uncomfortable at all.
yeah, and if I'm here and you grab my collar, I can just let go.
Yeah, that's real. That
Yeah.
would happen.
Yeah. So you don't even necessarily need a second grip if they're committing to your collar. You just whip them up. Yeah, they're handing you outside. Yeah, it's crazy. The intro to Toreando, which is you go here, and now I just feel like that's not happening. They get a hook in, whatever, and I don't feel like doing the hip one. And you just step in and keep this pin. And then you drive your hips in so they can't attack, and then you set your knee cut with the underhook and you blow through the other side. And then there's setting it up from half guard. Where here, you have knee shield, because this is the most common scenario. You put your hand on the hip, put your hand here, you go here, and instead of doing this, you go here. Once I pick this up, you just dump it all the way to the far side. Set it up again from here, and now you're back over. It's a lot more effective than on fighting guard players. It's more effective doing it like that than it is just getting up and trying to knee cut again.
So from that, you're coming up.
And this goes on the bottom, and this one I always have here and on the leg here. So instead of going here and trying to get your elbow in, and then people guarding, exactly, or they get there and then the reverse of the heel starts, because this leg is in the air. So instead, you go here, you lift, and once you lift, you keep driving all the way down, and then you keep this pin, and you just stick that. Yeah, see now, now we're back in that, and you're reaching out for that underhook. Yeah, so especially if I'm here, you grab and you stay there. Yeah, see, the lift is what stops me with my leg.
Because if not, if I don't lift you, there's no way.
The lift, so think about logically, the higher my knee is, when I extend my leg like this, the higher I can go. When you lift me off the ground, watch where my knee goes. Now my extension is out, and it's not up.
Yeah.
That's why it works.
That makes sense.
Yes. So lifting them as high as you can is how that pass works so well. Yeah.
So all the big guys should probably be using that pass.
Oh, dude, because you can just yank people off the ground with that. I taught one defense, but we need to do something. But it's that thing where you're dumping people over.
Yeah.
Man, last year my head ever went that thing, man.
I do it from about 5, I believe. Is what I do it most of the time? No, I didn't have that. What about this one, right? So I was to get this from
Oh, that's so that is the same concept where you need this to happen and then you need this tucked and then you're getting here. I'm talking about when you're Toreando passing.
Yeah. I kind of remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you start Toreando passing, I grab my grips, whichever side you choose, so choose that side. I plant, and then I stand on this one, I swing this thing under, and then once it's under, I roll my hips down, and you're gone. So I hit that in the tournament on people bigger than me there, and I hit it in no-gi in the tournament on people bigger than me. Because everyone at Toreando's, they commit their chest, they don't commit their hips. If you commit your chest, I'm sending you over. And they'll do, in my opinion, that's the wrong way to do it. If you commit your chest, you have to be in north south, which I never taught that version because I want everyone to focus on hips. So most people, they pass, and then they're like, they drive their head in, and then I just send them over the top. Or just push them away, because now all their weight, like a wrestler, is like this. And that's not where you want your weight in jiu-jitsu. You want your hips.
Still having a lot of success with my lasso sweeper to move up.
Yeah.
I don't know why it works. Like, not just on the right belt, it works on, if I get to a position on you guys, of course, I can't put it down my legs back, like three trunks, but it works. I don't know why. Because I've never seen it before, it's just kind of something I do.
From like bottom side control also?
After I go bottom side, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Either one. But they always
I do it with just the shin in, man. Even in
that's
no-gi.
what I do.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, instead of the full lasso, I just put my shin in there bicep.
Yeah, so I get here, and I need the power to do that. Yeah. So I always like can't wait. Throw them over, and they always fall like this.
Yeah, and then just turn to the knee bar. Yeah.
Every single time.
That's fine.
It never fails.
I always get up because their leg is there, and I do the leg drag first that we were doing today.
Jeremy, I did, and I don't know if you're going to be able to recreate this because it felt like ass. But he was smashing it. Like,
Yeah,
I am like this, and he was smashing it. So what I had to do, first I didn't have my leg connected. So go ahead and smash it.
Yeah.
And what I had to do is I squeeze my leg in here, and I had to use that to pry him up to get him off of me.
He's strong, man. He's real strong.
Like, holy crap. And then I slept him for